What's up, everyone? Colin Caruso here, Artistic Director of Color for John Paul Mitchell Systems. We are in our beautiful Santa Monica offices. We got one of the best with us, besides the person behind the camera here.
Hey.
We got Fern the barber, Fern the colorist today. He's going to walk us through an amazing new product, and he definitely has color on the brain, right, Fern?
Yeah, color on the brain.
So Fern, what do we have here?
So right now I'm working with the hot pink in colorways. I decided to go with a brain for the design, being that we're here with Hairbrain. So
Yeah.
shout out to Hairbrain for having us on your guys'.
I think you might have to do this on me next.
Yeah, so basically what I'm doing right now is I'm just packing in this pink. I outlined it with the purple colorways. So I do it in layers. So basically what I'll do is I'll do all the line work with the purple, and then literally I see how I'm just coming in and just like packing in, because I don't want to blend this in. I want the purple line to stand out. So I'm just basically going to overlay it, and then I'm going to smash it in and then pack it in with my finger afterwards. So
So you're just kind of like tapping it on rather than painting it?
yeah, because I don't want to smear anything right now. I just really want to.
Interesting. Did you learn that just through trial and error or what?
Yeah, just through basically messing up pretty much.
So you kind of just like tap it on, pack it on, and then after it's all filled in, then you'll do some work with your fingers?
Yeah, and then I'll really go in there and just make sure it's all in there with my fingers, just pressing it in there.
Obviously your model's hair was pre-lifted.
Yeah, I pre-lifted. This is my model Brandon. I pre-lifted his hair with 30 volume with the Synchro Plus. Processed it for, I don't know, like an hour maybe. And then I toned it with 10 volume and the UTP from Paul Mitchell The Color.
Very cool. Okay, so we're kind of meeting colorways today. This is a new color line, and I'm going to have Colin Caruso, the artistic director for color from Paul Mitchell, talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, for starters, I mean, this is how I got into hair color. I was a skateboarder. I had blue hair, pink hair, green hair. Before I even knew what hair color was, I kind of found myself down this rabbit hole. I love these kinds of colors. They're expressive, they're fun. They put the art back in what we do as artists, so these are great. One of the reasons why I love this too, it has a nice creamy base. That's what's enabling Fern to just kind of place it where he needs to place it.
Right. A lot of times we think of these kind of, let's just call them punky colors for lack of a better word. They're like more liquidy.
Yeah.
Where it's actually thick, huh?
And that's going to give us superior color retention as well. So you can do the creative things like this. I mean, when I started, it was a little bit of just a little pink streak, a blue streak, a purple streak. Now we got color in the brain like this. People are expressing themselves more and more. You want a nice thick product that has superior ability to stick and stay, and that's what you're going to get through here. It's also a conditioning shampoo base. What does that mean? Well, it also means we can go back and rinse it. If you don't have a really thick product, if you don't have something that has superior coverage like this, what happens then, it's watery, it runs together, all your colors bleed together, all the detail Fern is putting in with this amazing little brush would wash together as one, but because it has this beautiful conditioning shampoo base, that's going to enable us to rinse this beautifully right by itself, no shampoo needed.
And we're going to show the
Rinse it
rinsing.
right
We're going to show the rinsing today. We've got a couple things. We're going to stick with Fern a little bit longer. Then Colin's going to show us some other applications of colorways, and then we're going to come back and check out the rinsing because Fern, that's a huge part of this, right?
Yeah, I feel the rinsing is what really makes this come to life. So what you're going to see right now, that's the purpose of me putting it on in the layers, is that when I rinse it out, nothing will bleed together. So.
Yep, it's a brain pattern. Melly is asking brain pattern ? And yes, it is a brain pattern. Pretty cool.
Very easy to work with, especially like I work still part-time at a school, so my students are loving playing with colorways because it's easy for them to work with. It stays right where they put it at. They're able to get real creative in the barbering program at the Costa Mesa School.
Natalie Bubble says she loves the 60s, 70s color packaging, colorways packaging. That's what I said. I've seen it today for the first time, and it's got this like mid-century modern kind of graphic on it, which I love. I like the font too. Very cool. So, Colin, tell us a little bit about, like your part in developing this.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely wanted to have something that performs and works for hairdressers. Everything we do at John Paul Mitchell Systems, it's all under the umbrella system of Will this help a hairdresser be successful? Is this something that, you know, can help put food on the table, help them be creative? This definitely was something that was needed in our wonderful line here. What I love about it, though, it's called colorways. And when you guys think about that, I'm a big sneakerhead.
Sneakerhead.
It's kind of, you pan to the sneakers. But I'm a big sneakerhead. I got Nikes, Adidas. We all love sneakers. I love that we can wear sneakers at work. You and I have been doing this long enough, and we weren't allowed to back in the day.
Yeah.
But what's really great in the sneakerway culture, it's putting out a beautiful design and changing the colorway with the season. We wanted something sophisticated. We wanted to bring something to the table that encourages our clients to change their colorways with the seasons, have fun with their hair. Obviously, not every guest is going to let you draw a brain on their head like Brandon here. You let Fern draw a lot of things on your head, emojis, all kinds of stuff. But what's really cool is that some of these guests, you know, it happens in my chair a lot. I wish I could try a little bit of a pink. I wish I could put a little purple in my hair. Stop letting your clients wish. Just start making it happen. They don't have to be purple or pink all over. Put a little panel in there. Have some fun with it. Allow people to express themselves with hair color. You're seeing it trend more and more. It is actually a big part of our industry. Searches for rainbow hair, pink hair don't care, are up, quadruple, especially since COVID. So more and more guests are trying fun colors. It can also be a part of their traditional color palette. Enjoy it, have fun with it. It gets new customers. I love that Fern said it too. A lot of barbers are expressing themselves with hair color as well, right? So that means they're turning their sinks back on instead of storing lollipops in there, right, Fern?
Definitely, yeah.
We're able to get those going and rinse. It's really a fun way to express yourself and post it. And go to Fern's page as well and Paul Mitchell Pro. You can see how creative it is, how fun it is. And if you want to do more work like this, just post it. That's what's amazing about what we have, the opportunity we have in our industry. If you post the type of work you want to do, you're going to see it more in your chair.
All right, Fern, so you were painting and you said like you just tap with the paint. You don't use like brushing movements. Then you go back with your finger and explain what's happening here.
Yeah, so basically I don't know what the term is, but I call it like just laying in, like packing the color in the area that I want to work with. And since this hair is so short, I'm able to come in and basically I just tap, tap, tap. So I'm not really like mixing the purple with the pink. If the purple's going to stay where it is, the pink's going to stay where it is, and I'm basically just making sure that it's all saturated. You'll notice I'm just consistently wiping my hands because there is purple colorways on here also, and I don't want to like start getting in the purple on my finger and then I'm mashing it into the pink. So I'm just working cleanly with the color, keeping it isolated.
Fern, as you mentioned, you know, a lot of the whole barbering culture has kind of exploded in the past. Let's go back even a decade now. So now you're seeing a lot of these kind of creative color happening as well. I mean, how is that fitting in for like the pricing structure for barbers? Like what would the average, you know, in-demand barber charge for something like this?
I feel it depends on barber to barber. I mean, it's just like barber haircuts in shops. Some barbers charge 80 to 100. Some are charging like 40 to 30. So I think it all depends on the barber. But I think a service like this can increase the revenue for a barber behind the chair, and they can start making way more money than they would be if they were just to be cutting hair all day long. So it's just an added on service that they can do to up their price or their income, I guess. Yeah.
And how are they learning? I mean, because obviously, you know, you must have a little bit of an artistic background to kind of come up with this brain pattern, or not. Am I just guessing that you have a little bit of, you know, like kind of painterly skill, or what?
I would say, yes. But this pattern was super difficult for me to do. My first thought was I created a stencil and I tried to like lay the stencil on top of the head. But when I was wrapping it in, it was like not working. And then, so what I did was I put the stencil on and then I started dotting it, and then that got all messy. So then I just crumbled up the stencil and I threw it away, and I just literally just freehanded it on there. So, but yeah, I think I was looking at a picture while I was doing it though. So I didn't just like come up with it out of like the blue.
All right, so this has been awesome. Fern has kind of painted on this brain here on his model. We're gonna come back to him in a few minutes and watch him rinse, but we're gonna head over and see some other applications here because, you know, a great product like this should be diverse. So we're gonna follow Mr. Colin Caruso, the artistic director. Oh, she's gonna stay here. Perfect. Colorways is a game changer. The fading and longevity is great, says Jose Styles.
Yes, I mean, it's pretty amazing, and you guys can see here. So I went in with a nice royal purple. We added a little bit of
Really rich, huh?
blue to the ends here, just for some movement. You know, I'm one of them old school colors, so I like to leave the hair color a little something to find.
Yeah,
right?
little peekaboo, little peekaboo.
So what we did is we actually pre-lightened everything in here, right? But you can see, even when we came in and rinsed, the colors don't run together, so we were able to wash all this together. We were able to just rinse it out because of that shampoo base. And we're just gonna leave a little fun little panel in through here. So I'm just gonna pre-section this out, nothing major.
So yeah, this looks really beautiful and rich. And
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, one of the things I learned from creative color is it's not easy, it's not simple. Color formulation comes into play big time. Those of you that are great at it, you deserve a big, huge round of applause. People think it's bleach and get your colors on. It's really not that simple. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Understanding color theory, understanding how color works. But colorways makes it as easy as possible because, again, you can just rinse it out. The colors don't run together. So as far as your tools, you got a great tool here. But it does take a little bit of work to be able to do these kinds of colors. They're fun, but...
What category does this fit into? Is it considered semi, demi?
Yeah.
Do you need a developer?
It's a true semi-permanent. You just work right out of the tube.
No
All your
developers.
color theory comes into play here. You want to definitely know what neutralizes what. You know, oftentimes you'll work with some fun colors. Even what we're going to do here, we're going to have a good time. We're just going to kind of bleed some colors together so we have a nice little pop around the hairline here. Lisa's awesome. She's in an amazing band. You know, they have a really fun lifestyle. She's able to do cool things with her hair, so she's a great model for us. But what we're going to do is just have a little fun in this little asymmetrical pattern through here. Where we place our colors, Gerard, you can see the colors we're working with. We got a pink, we got a yellow, we got a green, we got that royal purple that we created. Any existing Paul Mitchell users, you love your royal purple from Pop. This is how we created a royal purple formula for you in colorways, which is superior again in how it works, how long it lasts, and how it fades on tone. But what's really nice here is we're going to work with color theory, and we're going to make sure that the colors we place next to each other don't dull each other out, neutralize each other, or cancel each other out. So we're just going to come in and have a little bit of fun through this panel through here. We're just going to subdivide these. I don't need gloves today.
Well, after all that, you're going to take the gloves off?
Well, because they ain't going in very good, and I don't really, we are on a time crunch here. I'm not putting it in with my bare hands, so we're good to go. So we're going to create a little fun movement pattern in through here. I can go ahead and keep the purple at the base, just so I don't get any sort of hot regrowth or any sort of draw too much attention in through here. I'm going to kind of keep that consistent. Right, so that's our royal purple that we created. We created this royal purple. We used purple colorways with a little bit of blue, simple. But the colors that we're going to use next, they got to kind of work together, and that's something that you want to consider because we are going to do a slight overlap here, and it's fun. We're just going to kind of have a good little bit of movement of color, but I don't want to go in with yellow or, I'll get a neutral tone, I'll get a flat muddy tone. Here I don't want to go in with the green. You got to work with the colors that kind of work together. So I'm able to kind of come in with the yellow next, and that can overlap, which is going to give us a beautiful little gold. And then right from the yellow, I'm going to go right in with a nice green base. So all the colors that we're working with.
It's got a bomb pop look going on.
It is
right
a summer bomb pop.
It's a summer bomb pop. I love that.
Right? It's just going to sit right through here. I'm not going to fold this foil simply because I don't want all those colors to run together.
Right, so sandwiching right so that the colors don't mix and make another formula altogether.
Totally.
Turn your head to the right a little
So
bit.
she's going to turn perfect. So now I'm just going to kind of cross section out. And what I'm going to do in through here, grab a foil, same thing. Just want to work with colors that work together. They don't have to be the exact same colors that we used over here. So now I'm going to go in with our aqua, which I love. Super fun color. Has this like beautiful little denim-y feel.
Mary says hi, Heather.
Hey, Mary. Hey, everyone.
Talk about teamwork. We've got Fern and Heather here holding the color. You must be an important guy.
Yeah, not so much important as these guys are awesome. They're just good people. You surround yourself around good people. Even Mary, thanks for joining, checking us out today.
That's kind of always been the Paul Mitchell. I'm proud to say I've been affiliated with Paul Mitchell in some way or another, probably for 25 plus years. And, it's just you guys all really like each other and hang out and do cool stuff. And
Yeah, we do.
It's fun. So we're glad to be. For those of you who are just joining us, we're here in the Santa Monica space. You can see spelled backwards. It says coming soon. This is going to be an incredible facility. I think you guys bought the building and are going to kind of build up, and all kinds of amazing stuff is going to be happening here on 2nd Street in Santa Monica.
It's going to be our corporate offices. We're going to be able to hold classes here. You're going to be able to come see, and when you're here, you're going to see all the people behind the scenes that you never get to see that make this company so amazing. They're all behind us here. We have so many amazing, talented human beings that love hair, that love hairdressers, and it starts at the top. And to me, that's because, we're not stockholders or shareholders, or we are a company run by hairstylists and people who love them, so it makes a big difference.
All right, so what have you moved on to now?
So now I got in with my a little bit of my pink. I'm going to kind of hit my yellow in through the interior here. So this is more just for Lisa to have some fun, just express herself through hair color, and we're making sure that all of our colors kind of work together. But the great thing about this, it doesn't need to be shampooed. I don't need to come in and try to rinse all this out and let it bleed together and wash together. That's what I love about this. It has a nice creamy thick base. It's going to rinse really beautifully and clean, and it's all going to come together. So.
These colors, at least pre-rinse, they remind me of like oil on water, or like gasoline on water.
Absolutely.
So really kind of that beautiful rainbow, but that oily kind of.
Just
effect.
a little sneak peek, a little iridescent. So the last foil I'm going to go in through here, because I have some of that violet, I'm just going to go straight down with my blue. So all those colors work together. So whenever you're formulating, just keep that in mind. Make sure that you're not undoing your beautiful work by placing colors that don't work well together or neutralize each other. That's kind of a big deal.
Why switch to the film for this one?
Because that was the closest thing to my hands over
Okay.
here. Yeah, that was it. But if you like
allows
working,
you to see it too.
yeah, you can definitely work with the film, especially if you're working with a more advanced pattern. The films really help. We're a process of our tools. The color that we work with, it's just color in a tube. It's amazing, but it's you, the artist, that brings it to life. All the tools you're working with, you saw Fern, he had that little brush, hand detailing brush, it all makes a difference when you come together. So this doesn't take very long to process. We're gonna try to rinse just that section out, have everything done for you guys. But now we wanna take you to the rinse, because we knew when we did this, I said, Fern, you gotta show everybody how you rinse this out and how great it rinses out. So,
all right,
Fern,
yeah,
this is the first time ever, right? Do you ever film a rinse out? Sure.
No, never have. And this, it is true, because this is such a big part of this. If you do this creative painting, leopard spots, or, you name it. In this case, it's a brain. For those of you just joining us, our buddy Fern, Orange County in the house.
Hey.
He painted a brain here on his model, which I think is pretty cool. And now he's going to show us how he rinses that.
Yeah, I think this is kind of what sets colorways apart from other color lines is when I rinse this out, it's not going to muddy all up and get all nasty, right? So this is going to just stay nice and vibrant. It's going to stay where I put it at. And then again, the conditioning agents that it's in there, the conditioning agents that are in the product allows me to not have to shampoo, which is another key.
Yeah, I was interested, Colin, in you kept mentioning shampoo base. I haven't really quite. Can you talk a little bit more about what that means here?
Yeah, it's a conditioning shampoo base. So basically, you don't have to shampoo it out. It makes a big difference. It kind of gives it its beautiful texture. And you can see those colors aren't running together. When I started, Gerard, back in the day, if I was rinsing this out, basically it would not look like a brain anymore.
Yeah.
It looked like your brain on drugs or something, back in the day. So
there's like a base in it that shampoo, so you just add water and it just runs right out.
And it runs right out. And you can even see in the water that's rinsing, it's coming
sunsy,
out. Yeah, it's coming out pretty clear. It's a big difference maker as far as semi-permanent color goes. It's also not running into the blonde that you have there. So basically your work stays where you need it to stay, and that's what you want. An artist is only as good as their tools, and we believe Colorways is the best tool.
A lot of love coming in for this, a lot of wows, a holy shit, I can say that. a nice, wow, fantastic. So
up a little bit more.
I think everyone's obviously really impressed with this super cool brain pattern, but also just the way that it rinses. So Chrissy Nicole is asking, not a conditioner base?
It's a shampoo conditioning base.
Shampoo conditioning base.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Just got an upgrade.
Yeah, no, that's what I believe. That's what I've been saying. I don't know, but yeah, and that's what enables it to really. It also has that thick emulsifying.
It came out perfectly clean. I'm coming in real close here, dude. So So your little action of tapping and then using your fingers, there's no overlapping here.
And you can see it's all saturated as well. So that really does make a difference. You know?
Thelma Perez is wondering about the water temperature, Fern.
Oh,
It's cold. What'd you say that again?
cold. Yeah, I treat this just like my clothes. Like, you want something to stay nice and bright, you use cold water. Same thing, hair is a fabric, so if you want something to stay bright, use cold water. When I'm right now, like, I'm literally just like patting again, so I'm not like mushing it all the hair around. Like, I want it to like really set, dry, and then when he sits up, everything should be good.
Awesome.
That's it. I mean, and that's the proof I think you need to know
So
when you
no
do this kind of
bleeding.
work.
Yeah, and you're
It can very easily be undone, you know, by things like that. And that's really what we didn't want to happen. We tested it. We worked with it. We wanted to make sure that your work is your work when it's done.
A lot of people are asking about how long it lasts.
Well, what's amazing too, if you go to paulmitchell.com and you log in, you can actually see it's another thing, the tools that we've created with this are all based on those types of questions. So what we've done is we shampooed each one at 10 and at 20, and we show you the fadeage. We also show you what it looks like on an 8, a 9, or 10, so you can see the different levels and give you recommended lifting levels. That's one of the biggest mistakes too when you're working in colors like this, in creative colors. Sometimes we overlift or underlift. If we're talking about filling the hair, we're very big on dropping and filling and toning, but overlifting can create the same mistakes as not filling as well, just in reverse.
Now that's for real hairbrained right there.
Hey.
Yeah.
Damn. Looks awesome.
Thank
So
you.
cool, bro.
Dope,
Amazing. Yeah.
Cool. So now I'm just gonna kind of just let this dry, and then, yeah.
Talk about the lifting, because I mean the blonde is so good.
Yeah,
Like, it can be hard to get short hair like that pure, right? Like, how did you do that? Did you do the lifting too?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So the key is, I think, when it comes to lifting hair, is not being in a rush. Like having enough time to get where you need to go. Like, sometimes, a lot of my students think that Lightner works on a time system like color does, and I have to explain to them, it's, you gotta just watch it and consistently, like, some people, depending on diameter of hair, takes longer to lift, right? And then the toning part of it, the UTP, like, again, like, I stayed by his side the entire time he was toning in the bowl, just to make sure it didn't overtone, because you couldn't overtone, it would have turned too, like, that grayish platinum color. So I don't know, I think it's just watching it the whole time. And
There you go, right there. So just the same energy and love we put into color as we put into our lightener. Brand new lightener here. This is going to keep the bonds healthier in their hair. We also worked with our BondRx 2-part system with Prevent, which is so amazing. It actually prevents damage to the bonds, so it keeps your hair long, blonde, and healthy. That was my old joke to my clients. Pick two.
Which
long,
one do you
blonde,
want?
healthy.
Yeah.
Which two? One out of two. Now you can get all three. And the best part about it, it's something your guests want, and it's something that you can provide, and it's something you can also get paid for. This started out as my hobby, doing work like this, became my career. Been able to put my kids through school, been able to purchase a house, been able to do some pretty amazing things from working with these two things right here in this amazing company. But this guy right here, he's a star, man. And you guys, you see the work he does. He's inspirational. He's creative. His page is something that's authentic. And, I love you for that, brother. You do amazing work. And he's also the ambassador for Colorways. He's putting together a nice, fun team that you work with. And he's doing some pretty amazing things. So definitely check him out. I'm sure you're already following him. I don't think anybody in the world isn't following you yet, right? You did a good job with that as well.
Yeah, if you are just joining us again, I'm sure you guys know Fern the Barber, but if not, you can follow him on Instagram at Fern the Barber. Colin Caruso, Artistic Director for Color for Paul Mitchell.
Sure.
Are we going to get a chance to see yours
Yeah,
finished?
she's coming out right now. We'll
Yeah.
cover it real quick and we'll get it going.
In the meantime here, again, thank you for hanging out with us. If you want to see that finish, we're going to grab Colin's model. So what other patterns have you been doing recently? Like, what's your thing? You just go day by day, Fern, and see what pops into your head, or there's certain things that you're finding more popular than others?
I just like to, like, for this one, I was like, how can I incorporate hairbrain with Paul Mitchell? And I was like, a brain, and then just kind of
A colorways brain.
All right.
And here we go in Paul Mitchell fashion.
Through here.
These
Thank
guys
you, Heather.
love to bang it out. They get the
Yeah.
work done. Thank you, Heather.
So you can see just a fun little pop of movements or those tones coming together.
That looks amazing.
It gives Lisa some fun here. Lisa's an amazing band, Tara Jr., right?
Yep.
You gotta give her a follow as well. Her band is awesome, and she's super
So,
rad.
I mean, how long did that is that the normal amount of processing time?
Yeah, you don't need a ton of processing time. Really, it's about
just
getting
boom,
it into
pops
the
right
hair.
in.
Yeah, and you're good to go. So working together there, it's quick, it's fun, and it's something that can add a little excitement back to your career. Or if you're starting out, just hey, go down this direction, enjoy yourself. Hair, sometimes I don't know about you, Jer, but for me, became a little bit of check in the box, especially when I got really busy with clients. If you're not doing work like this, go to your local store, grab some colorways, and do hair for you. Have fun with it as well.
Let's get all you guys on this side so I have the light behind me. We can get one final look. Come on over here, please. We'll get one final look and we'll say goodbye from our friends. Yeah, we got good lighting here. So here's our brain. Looking good. You must be a boxer or MMA or something, am I right?
Yeah.
And look at this. And of course, our boy Fern. Thank you, Fern, for sharing your talent, passion with us. Thank you, Colin, for all your great leadership here in the color realm. And thank you to Paul Mitchell for constantly supporting hairdressers and being a big support for Hairbrained over the years to allow us to bring great education like this to people with these incredible educators. All right, guys, let's close it down.